Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Joe Daddy's Garage and the Monday night live stream. Uh, I missed last week. I think it was last week. And there was a problem with my voice. Had a head cold, sinus congestion, all kinds of stuff going on. And I could not function very well. And I knew I could not sit here and talk and answer questions and yammer on for 2 hours like I normally do. So I ended up just pulling the plug on it, saying it's not going to happen. But I did do it on Thursday. Kind of grew there. Had a great turnout, and I can already see that I'm having Wi-Fi things again going on. So I'll say it right now: if things are getting a little fuzzy or sketchy or whatever, hang in there. Usually it corrects itself. Um, Not much I can do about it. I've been fighting with this for months, and some streams it's been fantastic. Haven't had any issues. Other streams, it goes back to that trying to get on Wi-Fi thing. So anyway, it's been a good weekend. It's been a pretty decent Monday, and I look forward to doing this so that everybody is coming in and checking in and being part of the live stream. I just got a YouTube notification. I got a YouTube notification from Wally, 68 Mustang restoration. Maybe he'll show up tonight. It says finally painted. So he got his convertible painted. So I'll give Wally an early bell for that. I'm so happy to hear that he got the car painted. I hope it turned out okay. All right. So hopefully, again, the stream works out. We're going to find out here. Who is here tonight? Terry Keithley. Good evening, everyone. Barry, please hit the thumbs up. Yes. By all means, hit the thumbs up. Thank you. Jason's Garage. Thumbs up. Hit. Awesome. Thank you, Jason. Jerry checking in from the Money Pit. And thumbs up from Jerry. Okay. I'm not going to give everybody a bell, but you know how this works. We normally give bells for good responses. Now, Dave, we're doing the Dave bells. I don't know. First Dave showing up. We haven't had any other alternative Daves. So I don't know if I want to give you a bell or not, but I'm glad you're here. Rick Stevenson checking in. Troy, hey, Barry and gang, good to be with you tonight. Glad you're here, Troy. Bob Shoemaker from Oklahoma. Missed all the tornadoes last night. I'll give you a bell for that. That's one thing. That's one of the many things that I don't want to be near. I think that the number one on the list is clowns. I don't want to be anywhere near a clown. Probably two is tornadoes. Maybe two would be fire. Big fire. But anyway, top 5 tornadoes. You get it. But clowns, keep your distance from clowns. And it's all kinds of clowns, not just the ones with makeup. All right. Roger checking in from next door, Hindsight 6-7. Brian B. Hope everyone had a good weekend. It is sad that this is often a highlight of my week. Ooh, I don't know how to take that. I'm not sure how to respond to that. This is the highlight of your week. I hope your week is better than just me talking and rambling on, but I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. CSL Lauren, or RCL Lauren Cronish. Good evening, Joe. Glad you're here. Thank you, CSL RC Lauren Cronish. Glad you're here. Robert, the Inferno Craftsman, is checking in. Robert and I have been having a ongoing kind of contact of cleaning up our shops. He's been trying to organize his, and I've been organizing mine, and maybe for different reasons, but still we've been like sharing pictures saying, this is what I got done today. This is what I found. Look at this, kind of thing. So that's been kind of interesting. Jeff, JK66 Mustang, super sticker. Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that very, very much. Wally, I was just talking about you. You just uploaded a video apparently for the finally painted. Everybody wait, don't go watch it now. After we're done here, go back and watch Wally's video. I hope everything turned out good, Wally. I really do. Brandon Reisinger, hello all. Glad you're here. Ed Cucciarella, or Cucciarella, one of those. Hope all are doing well. You can call me Dave. Okay. What was it that who sang that song? You can call me Dave. I think it was call me Al. You can call me Al. Yeah, Paul Simon. Robert, speaking of clowns, I'm still bummed I couldn't get a Pennywise candy dish at Menards. Oh, yeah. Maybe you can get one of our somebody who lives in a big white house. Maybe you get a candy dish of that clown. Maybe. Just saying. Just saying. Ish. Hello, everyone. Glad you're here. And Dave, cleaning shop as I'm listening. Cool. Yeah, this has been it's been an interesting weekend, and some conversations that I've had. As I think I know I mentioned it before, there's going to be a film crew coming here on Wednesday. Now, from a company called Yes Welder. They provided me with a plasma cutter, a welder, a welding helmet. I think there's some gloves coming. They have in the mail. They haven't shown up yet. But Yes Welder does these cool things. And I know it's a promotional thing for their company, obviously, but they are doing background stories on people. So if you're, somebody who's just doing like scrap metal art, or if you're working on stuff in your home shop and building fences or whatever, they're trying to do these background stories. And I've seen a couple of them. I think there's Yes Welder, I don't know, meet so and so type of titling on the videos. The point being, they're going to be here on Wednesday, and they're going to film here in the shop. And they're also going to do some. I think it's going to probably end up being really cool. There's going to be some footage made with this Mustang, maybe with the Model A. Don't know yet. Maybe some driving on the road type of stuff. I think it's going to be really cool. So they're going to be here on Wednesday, probably here, filming all day. And it's one of those things where they're going to interview me and ask, get ideas and questions and answers and stuff. And see, my sleeves are crooked. Then they'll film stuff that relates to that. So I'm pretty excited about it, mainly because it'll help promote the channel. I think with them doing this, it'll let other people know that the channel here exists and what I do and how I do it and why I do it and all that sort of thing. So I think that's going to be pretty exciting. Now, on Thursday, we're going to likely be filming at a small airport just down the road from me. And we're going to try to get some shots with some helicopters, maybe some aircraft, airplanes, maybe not, but at least some helicopters. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be really cool, really exciting. And I talked with the director on Sunday, and we talked for at least an hour, not just about our what I do here and what he's trying to do, but even our lives and what it was a great interaction. It was really great to talk to somebody like that. So anyway, they're going to be here. I think they're going to try to get here about 8 a.m. And so what I've been doing, if anybody watched or any of those that are signed up for Patreon have seen my Patreon video I posted today, I'm cleaning up everything. I'm just getting stuff out of the way, putting boxes away, going through parts and separating things. And, you would not believe it. You probably have seen my desk here in the background, of other videos. I can actually put my hands on the whole desk, which is really cool. I haven't been able to do that in a while. And it just gets, just stuff piles up. You know how it is. We all do it. We're all guilty of it, whether it's in the garage or in the house. I'll just put this on top of this, and I'll get it another day. And let me put this on top of that too. Just kind of create these piles of stuff. And so it feels pretty good to actually have a lot of this cleared off. And I don't realize that the desk, I call it a desk. It's a workbench, but it's probably about 6 feet wide and at least 3 feet deep. So it's a big piece of real estate. And there's a lot more room on here than I realized when I get all the junk off of it. So anyway, Dave, where do we get to watch the final product? Okay, they're going to be putting it on YouTube. They have their own YouTube channel. I don't know what to search for right now with their product. If you Yes Welder background videos or backstories or something like that, it might direct you to that. But of course, by them making the video of me and what I'm doing, that um, it'll help, promote their product and promote my side of things. So it's kind of a dual, helping. Um, but I'm gonna really pay attention because um, I want to not only, I mean, I'll obviously be part of it, obviously being one filmed, but anytime I get an opportunity like this, I make mental notes of how they're doing it, what angles they're using, how they're lighting things. Anything like that's going to help me in the future with what I do. I did the same thing when I did that one time. I volunteered, was an extra on The Walking Dead. Even though they cut me out of the scene, I was an extra there, and the time that I was there, about half a day, I really just watched how they did the filming and how they did the lighting and how they, tried to get the angles and all that sort of thing. So, for me, it's a learning opportunity as well. I wouldn't mind. I mean, I as much as I like to make these videos and do all this sort of thing, this guy's a director, producer, whatever. I kind of like that aspect of it. I would like to be able to, I like to film things, and even though the editing is tedious, I'm still working. I like to do the editing um, and see what I can come up with. If you noticed, I think that the trim video that I did on the front, I shot that with different cameras, and I cut back and forth. I think it made it more interesting and just kind of fun doing stuff like that. So anyway, Robert, I'm still amazed that the area around the lift is so open now. It was a massive pile of parts when I was there. Yeah, it is. I mean, it looks a whole lot different, and it's going to be looking even better whenever all the parts that go with that car are gone. That's the plan. That's part of even what with this cleanup stuff. It really helped drive me into getting that car, finish up the work that I need to do to it, right? And it'll be used. It'll be, there'll be filming in the garage, so that car will be seen. But by doing that, I can now finish those things that I need to get done, and then hopefully watch it go out the door onto a trailer and leave. That's the goal, the short-term goal at this point. Robert, yes, it was. Yes, the Yes Welder videos are also linked on their website. Okay, cool. So if if you're curious, you want to see what the kind of videos they're making on their, for that, you can go check them out. Now, does this mean that I will only use their product in the future? I can't say that, and I think they know that. I'm going to use their welder. I'll use their plasma cutter, and I'm happy with them. So far what I've done with them, but I don't know where that's going to. I can't say there's a line drawn where it says I'm only going to use Yes Welder products. You know what I mean? I don't know. Troy, I'm curious, how did they find you? YouTube? Yes. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, that's what they I guess they searched out videos, of people working on cars or something, and I popped up, and they said they liked what they saw and what I was doing. So I'm fine with that. Jack, hi Barry, here in my shop, staring at my car, wondering what I got myself into. Been there. But I also know that you can fix it. I mean, you have the parts, you can do it, just like anything. I think I demonstrate that if you have a good set of door hinges, you can build a Mustang. I've proven that. I had actually had a conversation earlier today with a guy who is building a fastback, and he had some questions about the alignment of the rocker panels versus the floor pan and different things. And I've seen pictures of what he's doing, and it's a pretty big project. But He built himself a jig. He's really going over the top with it, and I think it's going to be pretty fantastic when he gets it all done. But we were able to kind of talk over some of the problems he was having, and hopefully got him straightened out and got him on the right path. So, but yeah, it's to go back to Troy. Says I guess that they had to find me on YouTube. That's the only place they could really find me. Terry, Barry, will there be a steak fry when the BP leaves? Yeah. Yeah, there'll be something. There will be something. And I'm really hoping that all comes together, let's say, before the end of the year. That's my goal. Now, whether that happens or not, I don't know, but I would like it gone before the end of the year. Yeah. So along with that, I will be, Robert, I'll be there as soon as I can with a trailer. Yeah. Along with that, one of the other things as I mentioned before, and I think maybe next week, if the weather's good, I may try to get that 67 here. I may try to get the 67 coupe here. Since I've got the space cleaned up, those people can come and film and whatever. I think I'm going to try to get the 67 here. And then I have to make some decisions. I have to decide what I'm going to work on next. Because it could be, I've got some small stuff I got to take care of. I say small stuff. I've got to finish fixing up my son's Mazda 3 so I can sell it, get it out of here. I've got that Honda sitting outside, as I mentioned before. And of course, the basket case Camaro. So I'm kind of like this right now. And somebody had suggested, I think it was Bad Harry, that maybe I do some work on the Camaro and maybe I do some work on the Mustang. I don't know yet. But I would like to get the Camaro together so that it can leave. I don't need it to be here. I don't want to, again, I'm not going to do I don't want to do all the finish work to it. I just want to get it put together and have it head down the road somewhere. Doyle, question, what is best to seal the floor drain plugs? Seam sealer, ? Yep. Seam sealer is fine. What I actually used on the last time when I put this car, finished putting it together, I used some of that Flex Seal. I used some of that Flex Seal, the Flex Seal glue. That's the same stuff that I used on the plastic piece that I put up under the cowl when I put the AC in. Stuff has held up fantastic. I'm not saying you need to use that. You can get away with seam sealer would be ideal, but I had that Flex Seal stuff, the glue as they call it, and I just put a perimeter on it, put the piece down, screwed it in, and now then I'll go underneath and I'll hit it with undercoating, to blend it in. But the other thing I want to do, since you mentioned that, is I want to trim off. I hate those screws. You turn the screws in to the floor pan. The screws are like that long, and you only need a screw that's that long. And so if you're ever under the car and doing something, you could easily catch on one of those. So I'll probably go in and just cut off a good portion of those screws just to clean it up under there. The factory car had it, had these screws hanging down, whatever. I don't care. I don't want to catch my head on one of those if I'm underneath it on the lift, something like that. So get those cut off. Shane, hello all. Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Yes. Let's go, Brandon. Yes. 100%. Yes. I honestly, somebody's probably already beat me to it. I thought about putting Let's Go Brandon on some t-shirts and putting them out there for sale. Yeah. I really thought about it. Rick, I think that when the convertible leaves, maybe we'll see basket case Camaro. Yeah, it's a good chance. Good chance the basket case will be up next. Robert, get the Camaro out the door, but make a few videos of the cars in the meantime for filler. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There will definitely be, I'm going to be going back and forth, on that. There'll be plenty to be filmed. Doyle, these have no screws. Okay, so you have just plates, because like the ones I put in this car, the plates had the holes already there, and there were indents in the I believe there were indents in the floor pan to run those screws in. So seam sealer would work. Whether you want to put screws in or not, I guess that's up to you. What you could do, if you don't want to put the screws in, is just tack weld them, just to be safe. I mean, you can put seam sealer. I'm not saying they're going to come out, but if you put the seam sealer underneath, press them down, and you could put a couple tack welds just to hold them in, and that way you're not going to question whether something, who knows, pops up and pokes one of those plates out. Just saying. And then from underneath, you could even put a bead of seam sealer on around the edge of the hole as well. So if you don't want to run the screws, Brandon, I will buy one of your shirts if you do. You know, I'm really thinking I might just have to do that. Let's go, Brandon. Oh, that's hilarious. Maybe I'll try to design one up and get it up on my Teespring account. Troy, I would like to see you go back to the Camaro. Yeah, I get that. I do. I mean, that I started on that Camaro and I had plans, but then the idea that when people were wanting to pay me to work on their cars instead of me working on a car that was me, just something I was building, that's where that all changed. So I had to, go with where I was making some money. And ideally, if I finish the Camaro, then I can sell it and get some money. So that's the goal. That's the goal. Doyle, yes, just plates. Okay, yeah, we talked. Yeah, I would tack weld them in if nothing else. Wally, trying to lay a consistent coat of base clear coat on the surface of the entire car was the most stressful part of the restoration. To answer your question, it looks great, minimal trash, and flat clear. Well, good. I'm looking forward to watching that video, Wally. Really am. Glad it's done. I can finally get some sleep tonight. Yeah. I still, there's lots of things that I beat myself up over whenever I'm doing these cars, and whether I actually get a good night's sleep anymore, I don't even know. I don't even know. I know that just because we're talking about good night's sleep, we have a couple dogs, and I have one dog that she'll get up and wander around at about 5 a.m. Well, I don't get up at 5 a.m. anymore, but she'll get up and wander around, and I can hear her going around the house, and I just know if I don't take her outside, she's going to make a mess in the house. So I get up, take her outside, let her do her thing, come back in, and try to go back to sleep. And it just doesn't work like it used to. Doyle, I can relate to some GM content as well. Yeah, I get that. And I think it'll be fun to try to get that car back together, because it was rolled over, and I don't have any pictures or anything of what it looked like when it was rolled. So I have no idea how bad it was. So I'm kind of shooting in the dark on this a little bit, and I'm hoping everything works out. We all want it to work out, and I don't know. It's just going to be an interesting thing, putting it back together. Robert, FYI, I may be flying back to Cleveland next week. I'll be wearing a J Daddy Garage shirt, and if anyone recognizes me, I will have one sticker to give away. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. If anybody says, "Hey, I know that guy," yeah, here's a sticker. That would be great. I know you said you flew up there before and nobody knew who you were, knew Joe Daddy's Garage. And I get that. But, I'm glad you're trying. Every little bit helps. Ish. Sleep. What's that? Yeah. It's I think I've mentioned before, when Nick Moss was here, we talked about it. I had read a comment one time which said, at some point in your life, you go to bed and you wake up and you're still tired. And then they said, that's how it is for the rest of your life. That is just how it is for the rest of your life. Every day, I've had several days or several weeks now where I go to bed, I wake up and I'm like, why am I so tired? I just slept for 7 hours. Why am I so tired? I don't get it. Wally, you had mentioned that you do not like painting, and now I know why. Murphy is just waiting to step in and screw with you. Yes. 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 I mean, like I said, I can do it. I don't like it. I don't like it. And at this point, I mean, if I do another, I'll be happy to spray primer, epoxy, 2K, fine, spray that stuff, no problem. But I don't know that I'm going to paint another car for somebody else. I don't think I'm going to do that. If I paint it for myself, that's one thing. Even if it's a car that I decide I'm going to, sell, or like this one, if I, when this one goes for sale, then that's how it works. But I don't want to do one up front and say, I'm going to paint this for you. Not really wanting to do that. Phil, hi Barry. Is metalwork your most rewarding part of working on cars? Painting it is last for me. Yes. Sheet metal work, I'm there all day long. The beauty of sheet metal work is you mess up. Okay, fine. I'll just cut that right here, reshape this, bend that, put another weld on it. It looks great, So that's the beauty of it. I remember one time I watched it was like I don't know if it was a documentary or not. It was this guy, this old man who builds airplanes. I mean, he builds airplanes. Now they're small. They're smaller, maybe experimental type of little airplanes, and he hand makes everything, out of aluminum. He's hand forming everything. And the guy was asking him a question. He said, metal is the only way to go. And he said, if I can make the windshield out of metal, I would. And I was like, I like that comment. If I can make the windshield out of metal, I would. Let's see. Shane had to get a left door shell for Eileen. Was too far gone. Wasn't able to do door skin like right side. Money pit. Yeah. Yep. That's how it goes. Adds up quick. Rick Murphy was an optimist. I hope so. I don't know. About if I read Murphy's Law, I can't see where he was that much of an optimist, unless he was optimistic about things going wrong. Robert, I just realized I wasn't subscribed to Wally. I feel bad now. Well, yeah. Yeah, anybody on here, if you haven't subscribed to, 68 Mustang Restoration to Wally, you should be. Great information. If you haven't looked at Don's Manufactory, you need to get there and look what he's doing. Great information. If you haven't looked at Greg's workshop in Australia, Greg does some interesting stuff. You might want to check him out as well. Different people, different approaches to how they do things, but still good stuff. And of course, we all know, the others that have been on here, Grease Rookie Garage, and of course Robert, the Infernal Craftsman. Go check him out if you haven't done that. See, lots of crossover stuff. Get everybody involved. Other news. I say news. Maybe it's not so much news. Roger and I took out the Mustang yesterday. We went scouting for a road that we could do some filming on, for this video thing. So we found a good road. Had a good time just driving around. About probably 8 or 10 miles, probably 10 miles on the car. I'm still having trouble with it getting hot. It never got over, I don't think it got over 200. 180, 190, 195. So I may have some problems with the radiator. And I really what I'm thinking about doing is putting in one of those cross-flow radiators. But I think if I do that, I have to change the water pump, because the cross flow, if I remember correctly, The water neck, like it's the opposite of the radiator that's in this car. So I think the water neck is upper right on the I think it's upper right on, and well, anyway, with the cross flow, it has to actually have cross flow. So I think they put one water neck at one point and one at the other, and then it circulates back and forth and comes back out on the other side. So they make, from my understanding, they make two different water pumps. They have the old version, which comes out on one side, and then the newer style, which actually comes out on the other. So I have to research that a little bit, because I can't have this car overheating. It's just not gonna. Not gonna happen. I need to make sure that it's going to run and not have any issues. If it means putting in a new radiator and the new water pump, fine. I don't care. I'll do it. Wally, I agree. A friend wants me to paint his, and I am now going to pass. Imagine if something is not right, I cannot let it go and I have to work on it until it's right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's just it. Now, if it's like I said, that little Honda that's outside here, that it's a disposable car. Honestly, it's a Honda Civic, 200,000 miles on it. I'm going to fix it, make it a driver. Somebody can drive it. Am I going to worry about having perfect paint on it? Not a chance. I'm going to panel paint the fender, the door, the fender, the hood, bumper cover, whatever needs to be replaced. I'm just going to panel paint the stuff, and it's going to be close, and I'm happy with it. It just doesn't matter. But anything, like this, yeah, no, too much stress. Shane, Murphy's Law of Gravity is worse than 10 beers in you. Okay. It's worse with 10 beers in it. Yes. Doyle, Fissy's Fabrication on YouTube does metal rust and builds panels just using hand tools. Yep. I think you learned from me. Wally, don't feel bad. For not being subscribed. Yep. Robert, there are radiators with whatever combination of outlets you want. My 66 will be getting a cross flow and larger radiator. Well, see, I think it's Eastwood actually sells the cross flow. So unless somebody else has come out with their version, I don't know. But I was looking at the Eastwood, and if I remember, the water necks didn't jive with what I have. So, and I think because of that cross flow style, it has to come in at one, come out, and make that loop back and forth. Make the loop to come back out, whatever. It doesn't have, the tanks aren't designed like the tanks actually have separation points in them. So when the flow comes in, it has to go one way, drop, and come the other way, and drop and go the other way. So I'll if anybody else has some more remarks on that, if they know of if Eastwood is the way to go, then by all means, let me know. But that's where I'm headed right now. Robert, I'll dig up the link I have with radiator variants. Okay, cool. Ish. New radiator should fix your overheating. I've been there with my 56 Bel Air. Are you adding an electric fan? I don't plan to. I didn't plan to add an electric fan. But at this point, I don't plan to. I want to try to keep the regular belt-driven fan. If I have to, I will. But with that cross flow, I think you're supposed to get a marked improvement over the standard vertical. When you think about it, that the whole way these radiators are set up, with the water neck at the top and one at the bottom, nothing says that it's going to go up and down. It's just basically the fluid's just going to work its way to the bottom, come up into the engine, push back to the top, work its way to the bottom. It doesn't feel like it's doing much. But with that cross flow deal, it's actually kind of forcing it to go through the fins, the tubes, and cool much better. So at least that's what I'm hearing. So hopefully that's right. Hold on a second. I had an email from Chris Greenaway. I have a question. I was on your live tonight, and my questions don't post. Chris, I don't know what's going on. I can look at it and see if I can get you in here, but there's nothing. You should not be banned at all. I know there's no reason you should be banned, and I don't know if YouTube, because I had a problem before with somebody else. I had a problem with somebody with another thing. So I will share some photos. Chris has sent me some pictures of the Firebird. And right now I probably can't address the issue. I know with the other person who was blocked, I had to actually go in and change. Like on YouTube, there's a status where you can block people or you can approve certain people. You can always approve for being on the channel, whatever. And I had to do that with the other guy. I had to put him on approved, like force approve him to get on here. So, Chris, if you're send me your email, and if your name is your, I guess it's your YouTube, your name is the same as your YouTube, name, right? I think so. If that's correct, let me know. And I'm going to download a couple photos here and see if I can't lock up my internet. I know Chris has been on here quite a bit, and there's been several others I haven't seen on here. There was one guy from England. What happened to him? He used to come on late on. Maybe I think I can't remember the name right now, but he would be on here on Thursdays because every time he would go pick up his wife from the hospital and cook her dinner. So I don't know what happened to him. So anyway, here's Chris Greenaway's Firebird at a local car show or cruise in. It is a sharp looking car, I will say that. So at least I can show you your car, Chris. So verify that your YouTube is the same name, Chris Greenaway. All right, let me see. Ed, whoops. I will send you some photos later. I put a big block radiator in my 66 Ranchero, very similar to a 67.8 Mustang, made a crossover lower hose. Yeah, see, I did the crossover. Well, I did a crossover hose on the Brooklyn Pony car. I put in that the vintage air setup. I had to use a big crossover hose. But yeah, send me some pictures, and I'll be happy to look at those. Shane, do you know if it had the overheat issues before you did restore? It wasn't even running when I got it. When you go back, if you go back and look at the very first video of this car, it was a mess. There was all kinds of pieces torn off the engine. It had a Krylon rebuild, and it was not running. I had to push it on the trailer. So I have no idea. Robert, I'm not seeing his post. Yeah, I don't know what's going on because he's not been popping up for the last few weeks, or at least. Ish, I overcompensated. I added a new mechanical fan, electric fan, and a fan shroud. Can we say overkill? Well, the way I look at it right now, because I have the AC unit up front, if I put an electric fan on it, it's going to have to go between the engine and the radiator. So I'm just going to go with what I have for the fan right now. Tomas, I'm guessing Tomas, right? Hi, Barry. My question, if you could help me out. 1970 Mustang Coupe. I have the motor and transmission, and I need to change the lower cowl. Will it affect the body or frame flexing in any way? So you have a 70 Mustang Coupe. The engine and transmission, are they in it or are they out of it? I'm not sure how that's worded. I have the motor transmission. Change the lower cowl. Will it affect the body or frame flexing in any way? Okay. Well, I'm not sure exactly, how the question is. If you have the engine and transmission out, um, unless you're doing something crazy with jacking it up in the front, and having it at an angle while you're working on it, you shouldn't have any issues with the cowl. Assuming your aprons are okay and the frame rails are good, assuming everything is solid there. But, I did a video. I have a video on a 1970 sport roof that I did many years ago. And the engine and transmission were out. The car was sitting on its wheels. I didn't do any special bracing. I didn't do any, I didn't have it jacked up or anything. And I took the cowl out, put the cowl in, no problem. So assuming you have the engine transmission out, I don't see any issue with it. Again, frames have to be solid and all that sort of thing. Let's see. Roger, I'm not seeing his post either. Yeah. Bob, we used tri-flow radiators in our dirt track car. Well, I think I don't remember what we had in a dirt track car. It was aluminum. It's still up there in the rafters somewhere. I don't remember. And maybe it was a Cowl. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think that's going to fit though. Tomas, I'm going to say Tomas because I think that's how you say it, right? Lower cowl, yes. Robert, YouTube block people from commenting if they use excessive amounts of emojis when they comment. Okay. I hadn't heard that, but I'll take your word for it. Clark. Okay, I'm here. Now we can start. Cut the turkey, Clark. Tomas, if I start cutting the welds off and removing the upper and lower cowl, it would affect the body bending or flexing in any way. Well, again, is the engine and transmission in the car or are they out of the car? Because that's all part of it. So I can't. Let's get that cleared up first. Make sure those are out. But if they're not in the car, you shouldn't have any issues. If the frame rails are solid, and the aprons are good, you shouldn't move anything. Robert, great looking Firebird. I saw a beautiful Smoky and the Bandit one a few weeks ago up here. Yeah. Fly Poo is checking in. Glad you're here. Roger, we had a How Cool. See, I guessed that. And you know what? I probably actually knew that because, yeah, there's a sticker on the wall. On the door. There's a How Cool sticker on the door. Right underneath a NASCAR Winston Racing sticker. Yeah, that's how long that door has been on the wall. NASCAR Winston Racing. Shane, I've seen aftermarket AC condensers cause slight overheat problems, not with AC running, just because it restricts airflow. Electric fans usually solve it. Yeah, well, we when we got back in the shop and had the car running, we could put our hands in front of. Now, I wouldn't have anything to measure the actual airflow, but we put our hands in front of the condenser, and it was pulling air through at idle really pretty well. Now there's no shroud on this car either, which is another thing. I don't have the shroud for it, but I should. But I'm almost want to be proactive with the whole radiator situation. Because I don't know this is probably the original radiator in this car. What's the real condition of it? I don't know. I really don't know. Fast and Furious. Hello, everyone. Glad you're here. Let me get some more. Okay. Anyway. So as I said, we're going to be, having the film crew here on Wednesday. Been cleaning up the shop. Lo and behold, I was looking in a random corner over here behind some hood props. I'll just say that. I keep a bunch of wooden sticks over here, but next to the garage door, I use them as hood props. So if I'm ever working on somebody's car and it has weak hinges, I have several different lengths of wood handles that I can just prop in there. Well, mixed in with those wood props was the deck lid trim. How it got there, why, I don't know. That's where I put it. But not that it matters. But I ordered new stuff because I could not find the old stuff. And that's one of those things where it's one of those weird items, that thing is, whatever length, whatever width the decklet is, that trim all the way across. How do you store that without creating an issue? So I had it, standing up vertically, and it ended up being stuck behind a box and those sticks. So I found it, which is great, because I'll probably need it for the Red Dave car if I ever get, how I'm going to do that. But it was one of those, oh, look, there it is. there's the thing I couldn't find. Okay, Tomas, yes, and engine in and transmission in. I'm sorry about the spelling. I'm using the voice text, and thank you. Helped me out a lot since I've started this build 2 years ago with my son. He's in the Navy. Okay. All right. Well, let's look at it this way. If you're going to leave the engine and transmission in, I'm still going to say there shouldn't be an issue, because the engine weight is on the frame rails, on the front frame rails. So it's not like it's trying to flex anything anyway. But if you want to just be safe, what you can do, I wouldn't say necessarily jack it up, but you could put some blocking underneath it where the floor support, comes to the frame rail. You can put some blocking underneath there just to keep it from moving. You could just make wedges and whatever and get some blocking underneath that area. And then you could come to the front of the car as well, put some jack stands, put some blocking on, just enough to support everything to where it doesn't want to move. I still say it's not going to move, but just as a precaution, you could do that. You could even put some in the back where the rocker panel comes down and a pinch weld is formed. You could put some blocking underneath there, just enough, that it'll support the car when you're pushing on it or leaning on it. I don't think it shouldn't move, honestly, but just to play it safe, put some blocking underneath it. Robert, start with the shroud, but I go ahead and upgrade to a big aluminum radiator anyway. Also, how many blade, fan, and clutch or no clutch? I think it's a 5-blade, and it's not a clutch fan. So I'm pretty sure it's a 5-blade, though. Her Scrambler, made my first car show this weekend after Resto, had much interest. Cool. Yeah, I didn't get to a car show or cruise in. Unfortunately, if there's something pops up and I can get to it, I'll do it. But as of right now, I don't know of anything that's coming up in the area. They had a big one. There's a town south of us, Sonoya, Georgia. That's where they filmed The Walking Dead, and there's some, a bunch of movies were filmed down there. Like Driving Miss Daisy was filmed there. There's a bunch of different movies. But September, whatever, I don't know what day in September, towards the end of September, they have a big car show. And this year they had 400 cars, from what I understand. I'm pretty sure that's what I heard, was they had 400 spaces that they had sold to have people come in. And so, unfortunately, I missed it. I wanted to go. Just didn't happen. Okay. All right. I'm getting other notifications on different media formats, so just trying to keep up with everything. What else was there I was going to mention? I'm still waiting on the horn button. That's one thing. It's got to get the horn button. I have not put the little bar yet in the console for the light indicator for the shifter. Need to get that in, and also the radio. Right now, I'm not really focused on anything but organizing the shop and trying to get everything ready for, these people to come on Wednesday, and hope everything, looks good and goes smooth, and that it works out, because I want it to be, we always want it to look good and do a good job. and I got to do my part to help out with that. Doyle, did you get the grill installed in Jade? Nope, not yet. And there's a couple reasons for that. One, I don't have the horns in place yet, and I'm not sure if I can get the grill in the way I want to with the horns in place, or if I need to put the grill in and then put the horns in. So it's just a minor thing. Well, but before I did anything, before I started putting it all together, I needed to find some horns. Well, I actually had like 2 sets of horns that somebody gave me from another project that they had blasted, because I don't know if this car even had horns with it, when I got it. So I ended up, those I had to clean them up a little more, get some paint on them. And the other thing is, I really, how do I want to word this? I kind of almost want to build a jig for the grill. Kind of, sort of. Like the grill that's in these cars, the original one is just, it's aluminum, and it's formed and it should pretty much bolt right in. Well, the grill that I want to use is that expanded metal grill that's supposed to be like in a Shelby. What I was really thinking about doing, and I don't know if I can pull it off or not, I was thinking about making a jig that I could take the factory grill piece and build it to where the jig fits that grill piece. So I have a location and shape and everything for all those holes. And then if I could take the expanded metal from, let's say in the future, if I want to make some of these grills to sell or something, then I could buy some expanded metal and make my own form to where I could press it in, and hopefully the holes and everything would kind of match up. You know what I mean? So I've been kind of toying with that idea as well, because the expanded metal grill that I have, like I said, it's built for a Shelby, so it's actually narrower, but it has really wide flanges on it. So I'm going to unweld some of that, straighten out those flanges, and if I have to add something on the end to rigidify it, I don't know, but I might have to do that, and then of course paint it and get it in the car. So just a lot of, that's the way I operate a lot of times. I end up with an idea or a thought or a process, and I roll it in my mind, for quite a while, thinking, how can I pull this off? Is this a good idea, a bad idea? Will it work? And I'm not completely decided yet if I'm going to be able to do what I want. So if that answers the question, I don't know. But I definitely want to get the, get the grill in the car. So Ish, have you ordered the panels for the Fastback project? I'm looking forward to see how you tackle it. I have not ordered them yet. There's somebody that I hope the guy has the parts. I'm going to be making a road trip to Pennsylvania. And if he has everything that I want, I plan to make the road trip to Pennsylvania. I will probably buy at least the Fastback panel, everything I need to make it a Fastback. I may buy at least 1 floor pan, if not 2, along with whatever else may come to my mind. And the reason is I just want them here. If I get a project that I need a floor pan to start with, I have it. I know it may sound kind of crazy, but that's what I'm thinking. I should have a spare floor pan just sitting here. And if I'm making the trip anyway, because shipping is outrageous, shipping would just be crazy. It'll be easier on me, I think, because I've had stuff shipped before and it's arrived bent or damaged or whatever. And then what? I don't like that. If I can go to the guy who has the parts, load them up myself, and know that everything's straight and good to go, I'll feel much better about it. But yeah, wouldn't mind having a slight inventory of parts and materials. Tomas, thank you, Barry. That helps me tremendously. Okay, good. Good. Hope everything works out. Robert, new word of the day, rigidify. Yes. You got to make sure that you rigidify everything. So that's going to be another thing that I'm going to be dealing with. I've talked about it. The idea with the 67 coupe, there's several ways you can tackle the conversion. And I don't know exactly if the way I'm going to do it is going to be the same as the way everybody else is doing it. I know that there's people that are taking the skin off, the roof skin off the car, or actually they're just cutting off the whole back of the car, really. And then they're separating the sleeve welds where the A-pillar comes up and meets the roof panel internally. And they're re-sleeving it back together and welding it, and that's fine. And then you reskin it and you keep the A-pillars, which is critical in my mind. If you're doing it, you want to make sure all that stays correct. Then this car has issues with the A-pillars. Well, and where the door hinges mount, there's some rust there, or there was some rust, and somebody's done some work to it, and I need to get it here in my possession and look at it a little harder and try to decide how I want to approach it, whether I want to do the whole A-pillar, which I really don't want to do that, or if I can just do the lower section. There'll be a lot of figuring that'll have to take place, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Dave, can I ask a Model A question? Sure. Did you upgrade to hydraulic brakes? If not, thoughts on the stock brakes? I did not upgrade. And honestly, that's probably a bad idea. I'll just say it. Stock brakes are scary. They work, but it's not the same as having hydraulic pressure. I wouldn't mind upgrading it to hydraulic brakes. If there's a kit or something that I could find that would make it look like it was still the original drums and everything, which I haven't really researched it. I've seen that on I think 34. There was a hot rod I saw on Kindig-It where they had, it had these chrome brake drums and backing plates, and it was a drum brake setup, and they converted it to a disc brake setup, but it all looked the same on the outside. I thought that was really cool. But the Model A, it's all a bunch of rods. It's all it is. So you stomp on the brakes, you end up with the rods could, maybe I won't say stretch, but they could slightly stretch or condense, but you will not stop on a dime. Nope. The Model A, you have to be very proactive and decide, okay, the stop sign's a quarter mile ahead of me. I need to let off the gas and just start coasting. Gently work my way to the stop, which is, not a lot of fun. But if you're not worried about originality, which I know your car you're building, if you're not worried about originality, put hydraulic brakes on it. You want to be able to stop, and it's sketchy with the old style brakes. And the thing is, the old cars. If you think about the era, 1931, everybody had crappy brakes. Well, I say everyone. The high end cars probably had hydraulic brakes starting earlier, but now you talk about cars that are zipping out in front of you and cutting you off. You can't just stop. It just doesn't work. Shane, need a left front door skin for the fastback. I'm in PA and it's no use to me now. I don't know that I do. This car's coming with the original doors and 2 new doors. I'll make a decision on what I'm going to go with. But it's a coupe right now. So, and a conversion, I think the doors are the same though, aren't they? The fastback. The skin's the same, or the door skins doors are the same, I believe. But either way, I have to look at them and see what I want to do. Infidel, you should stop by Peterson Restorations in Pennsylvania. He does amazing work. Yes, I follow him on YouTube. I've actually left some comments on his channel, and it's been kind of cool. He actually, I know he's pinned at least one of my comments to the top of his video, and I did mention that earlier, that I would like to stop into his shop, and depending on where it's at, if it's en route to where I'm going, I'll stop in, maybe shoot a video with him. But I have to see if that works out. But that's a great idea. Give you a belt for that. Doyle, just rigidify the pillars before you begin the disassembly. Yes, that is the plan. Got to have it all solid. Dave, you can retrofit 39 and up drums to juice. A lot of work and not cheap. Yeah, that was the old thing you could do in the old days. People would just go to the junkyard and buy the juice kit, the juice drums off of an old 39 and just swap them in and be done for cheap. But not anymore. Infidel, the best conversions I've seen done, they get the side brace and cut the original A-pillar section to mid-doorish, then use the new side piece from their back. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking at. If I can do it. Now, I have to make sure the A-pillars are good first, because I'm not gonna fight with bad A-pillar. I'm pretty confident that the rockers are good. I'd rather not cut into the rockers. I know the whole side you get is the roof structure, the A-pillar, and the rocker panel and all that. And guys are separating those and just using, so I want to try to do the same. But I have to verify the condition of, everything, the rockers and the A-pillar and all that stuff before I can get into it. Infidel, yes, doors are the same. Yes. Dave, thanks for the thoughts. Just trying to justify the effort on this particular car, which will barely be driven. I've changed my goal a bit since we spoke about it. Okay. Well, you could do it a lot of different ways then. I don't know what the goal is now for what you want to build it to do. If you're going to rat rod it, just put whatever you want under it. It doesn't really matter. But if you're going period correct, you think about what they used back then. That's another thing. But lots of guys are doing the custom drop axle and all kinds of stuff that they used to do on those cars. But anyway, is Infidel the guy who won the shop lights? Yes, and I have to. I have not heard yet from the company. I need to forward his information to them, so that they can mail him the shop lights. And that's another thing. I've been thinking about this too. I keep getting opportunities to test products, and depending on what it is, I'm interested, but some of the stuff I'm just not. One of them that keeps popping up. It's all right, Rick. Glad you're here. So one of them that keeps popping up on my emails is, I did the Hawkman battery jumper, right? And I started the truck with it, and I started the little Honda with it, and whatever, and I demonstrated how that thing worked, and it was fantastic. I've had another one pop up, or actually several have popped up. Now, I don't know if they already know that I've done these type of videos on other products, or if they care, if they're just trying to get the name out there. But what I was thinking, because here's the dilemma. Okay, so I have the Hawkman, great. And then I have XYZ other brand, and then I have this one over here and this one over here. What good is it if I have 10 jump starters? What am I going to do with 10 jump starters? So what I was thinking about doing, and y'all can give me feedback, I'm sure you're happy to hear this. What I thought about doing was, if somebody sends me one of those, if I say, yeah, I'll do a review on it, and we'll check it out and see how it goes, and then I'll just give it away. I mean, I'm thinking about doing that. Now, depending on what it is, I may have to be careful with shipping, because like I think you can't the chargers, whatever, is a certain way you can't have to be ground shipped or whatever. And if I were to do something like that, it may have to be that whoever wins it has to pay shipping. I can't cover those costs. So I'm just thinking about doing some stuff like that. Maybe. Let's see. Infidel, thanks. Looking forward to see them and test them myself. Yes. Dave, I just got home from the Race of Gentlemen, beach drag racing. I want to race next year, so I have 1 year to build a period race car out of another coupe I have. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That would be cool. Rick, do you charge companies to do the review? No. I think basically what they're giving me is a product. They're giving me a product, and then I can keep it, which is fine. I don't really care, but I can't have piles of stuff that I don't really need. So that's where I'm kind of playing with the idea of trying to do some giveaways on stuff like that. Shane, lights make a noticeable difference in your shop. I think they do too. It's hard for me to judge sometimes because when you're in front of them all the time, you just kind of get used to it. But I think they do. Info, that would be awesome. Give it away. I could see paying shipping. Yeah. Okay. Rick, hazmat lithium batteries have to be shipped specially. Yes. Shipping is high thanks to Brandon. Yeah, let's go, Brandon. Her Scrambler Browns in Two Rivers, Wisconsin has all the Mustang parts you need. Okay. Might be a little bit out of my range, but thank you for that. You're talking about like Dynacorn parts or off other brand, what they stock? Rick, the Den of Tools charges $600 for a review on his channel. Works for him, should for you too. That's not a bad idea. If I should just tell them how much you're going to ask them, how much you're going to pay me to check out your product. I probably should do that, honestly. Now, like the Yes Welder stuff, granted, that's a brand new welder, a brand new welding hood, brand new plasma cutter. So I can see the value in that type of thing. But some of these other items, like I did one on that Bluetooth speaker. It really didn't matter to me, but it was a great idea because, for one, I'll tell you this, I hate listening to the radio anymore. Hate it. I don't care if they're playing my favorite music. When they start having a commercial every 30 seconds, it feels like, I just don't want to hear it. And we have the options now of iHeartRadio and these other companies, Spotify, whatever, pay services, that you can listen to whatever you want without having to deal with that. So what I've found now, because my new phone, this iPhone, actually has a really good battery in it. I can run all day. I've been Bluetoothing to that little speaker they gave me, and I listened to. If you haven't listened to it, I'll just tell you this: if you're on iHeartRadio, if you haven't heard about it, there's an iHeartRadio that is 96 Rock. Okay, and I'll give you a little history since we brought this up. I brought it up. 96 Rock started in Atlanta in like 1974. They lasted up until 2000. I don't know what it was, 6, when the DJs were so out of hand that they shut down the station, and then they turned it into some other crappy station. What they've done is they brought 96 Rock music back. Whatever they played between 74 and 2006 is all they play on that station. So 96 Rock on iHeartRadio, and there's like no commercial. And I mean, they'll occasionally have somebody talk. And they have DJs on who were there before. So if you haven't heard about 96 Rock, go check it out. Really cool to hear that old music. But the advantage is I don't have to listen to all the garbage commercials on the radio. I don't care about your jewelry commercials. I don't care about your roofing commercials. I don't care about blah, 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 blah. Just shut up and let me listen to music. That's all I want to hear. Okay, I'm done. Nick is here. Nick is in the house. I'll give you a Nick bell for that. Close your Nick. Rick, Denim Tools got $600 to review a $150 tool set, and he said it was horrible. See, that's the thing. They're gonna have to know that I've heard, like, I started working with that welder, and I found something I didn't like, and I'm gonna say this is I don't like this, and they have to know that. They have to know that going forward, and I'm not gonna just say, "Oh, you paid me $600." I'm gonna tell you this is the greatest tool in the world. No, I don't do that. Infidel, yes, you should be compensated for reviews. They're getting advertisement and functionality of the product to all your viewers. Yes, I agree. You know what? I'm just going to do that. I'll contact this company who has the battery thing, the other battery charger, whatever, and I'll say, how much are you willing to pay for me to review your product? And we'll see what they say. Because that could open up a whole different avenue for me that I would be happy to participate in. If they're paying this guy $600 to review something, pay me $500, whatever. We'll see what happens. Peter Davies, I'm resto modding a 68 coupe. It is now right-hand drive for Australia. I cannot figure out how to connect the glove box light. I looked at the left-hand drive panels, but no clues, any hints. You can't figure out how to connect it. Okay, so I'm assuming you have the existing glove box light. Is that what you're trying to find? If it was, I'm trying to figure out a way to answer this for you. Left-hand drive panels, but no clues. Okay, so are you just trying to find the light? You're trying to figure out which one is the light? Best thing I could probably tell you to do is your glove box light. First of all, did it actually have a glove box light? Because I think some of these didn't even have the glove box light. Like when I open the door, you end up with the console light. There's a light in the overhead light. There's a light in the console. Oh, I see. You're talking about you don't know how to mount it. You don't know how to mount it. Okay. From my recollection, in the glove box, if you had it in the right-hand side of the car, on the left-hand side, there should be a hole, right? There should be a hole on the left-hand side. And if I remember correctly, it pops into that hole. So you would have to move that hole to the right side if you're putting the glove box on the left side and pop it in that hole. Hope that makes sense. But I'm pretty confident there's a hole there that it actually pops into in the glove box. So you'd have to replicate that on the opposite side. Hope that helps. Let me know if I'm wrong. Anybody else have any input on that? Rick, do I get a cut since I suggested charging? I can't say I can offer any kind of incentives. Infidel's laughing. Okay. Doyle, did you find out if the S-Welder manufacturer has a smaller 023 feed spool as an option? Yes, it does. It does. It did not come with it. Apparently, you have to order it separate. Supposedly, I know they sent it to me, and according to the post office, my wife gets email notifications that says, we delivered a package to your mailbox, whatever. Well, according to the post office, they delivered it today. I can tell you this. I put a letter in the mail this morning, long before the post office comes through, put the flag up, it's still in the mailbox. They have not even been down our street today, but yet they told us that they've already delivered it. So anyway, it's not here yet. Hopefully it shows up soon. White Bull, greetings from Argentina. Okay, awesome. I'll give you a bell for being from Argentina. I don't know if we've had anybody from Argentina before. So welcome. Glad you were here. I see a car on some sort of a lift in your picture. So awesome. That's awesome. We've had several people from Australia, New Zealand, Denmark, Sweden, the United Kingdom. The one guy from Japan, I don't know where he's been. He's not been on here lately. Japan. I think we've had United Arab Emirates. I had one friend who was over in the sandbox in Afghanistan, but he's obviously not building a car over there. Where else? There was Brazil. We've had Brazil. And gosh, we've had a bunch of them. I think Portugal, maybe. So it's kind of cool to think about it. Here we are. I'm sitting in my little garage in Georgia, in the south of the United States, and we're getting people from all the way out Canada too. Obviously, Canada. We have people here from all over the world interacting, and I think that's really cool. Let's see. Oh, Rick says he was just kidding. He just wants to be, want you to be successful. That's what I want too, Rick. Thank you. Donald Rice, YouTube is getting stupid with ads. Yes, and that's why I've been trying to tell people. Ideally, I wouldn't put anything on YouTube anymore, but I have a following, and I want people to see stuff. If I had all my followers on Patreon, I wouldn't worry about YouTube anymore. If I had the numbers over there that I need to where I don't have to worry about YouTube and all their garbage, I wouldn't be on YouTube. So for those of you that are supporting me on Patreon, thank you. And if you haven't checked it out, there's a link down below where you can see it says show more. And if you want to look at it, and Patreon is just a matter of signing up for supporting YouTubers and stuff like that. And it's not expensive. It's not difficult. But if I didn't have to be on YouTube to promote things, I wouldn't be. I would just be doing Patreon. Doyle, Columbus Day, no mail today. Okay. Well, strangely enough, my wife got an email that said they delivered. So I don't understand that. That's crazy. But you're right. It's probably Columbus Day. Yeah. Roger says Columbus Day, isn't it? No mail. Yeah. I'll just have to say, okay, because I don't know. I don't know what day it is. Donald Rice checking in. Glad you're here. Robert, they will show it as delivered when they put it in the truck, on the truck. Been there, done that more than once. Yeah. Yep. Here is your stuff. Just kidding. Wally, I agree. Either I listen to my MP3 library or streaming. That is why I put Bluetooth in the Mustang. Yes. Well, I'm telling you, go check out 96 Rock. If you haven't, just go look for it on. If you're on iHeartRadio, pull up 96 Rock. Love their stuff. Love it. I'm ready to. If I didn't have, I've got this stereo sitting here that I can just turn the knob on to get volume, sound. And there's nothing wrong with it, but man, it's so much better listening to without all the extra commercials and junk. Numa, today is Indian Day, so no mail. Okay. White Bull, thank you so much. You're welcome. Sebastian and Uruguay, hello. Awesome. Give you a bell for being here from Uruguay. That's pretty cool. Shane, I'm not getting paid for this, but did you use the aluminum weld rods from Harbor Freight yet? They work great. I have not because I haven't had any cause to weld anything that's aluminum. So I'll have to check into it. Oh, I missed the question. Sorry, Nick. Does anyone have the upper piece of 6768 Radiator support? Old scrapped one. That's that. Wait, what? Oh, wait a minute. Upper piece. What do you need, Nick? Which piece do you, hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold that thought. Don't go anywhere. I'm here for you, Nick. I'm here for you. What do you need? This is out of jade. This is what's left of the jade. What do you need? You tell me what you need. I'll cut it off and send it to you. How about that? Got a deal, Nick? Tell me what you need. I'll cut it out and send it to you. I'd rather send it to you than just scrap that part. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, so Rick, thank you for that. I answered Nick. Hopefully he responds. Robert, we need someone from Greece so I can have someone to meet when we go back next year. Yeah. I want to go to Greece. I really do. I want to see it. Rick, don't call your garage little until you have to work in mine. Yeah, I get that. Well, it's not, I mean, it's not a small garage. You're right. But it's never big enough. We all know that. Nick, sent you a pic of this Boss 429 inner fender supports I made in case anyone wanted any ideas. Yeah, I'd seen those. You'd posted those on Instagram. And let me pull those up because these are really sharp. These are really sharp. Let me see if I can get all these in here. I'm gonna have to start deleting some of these out of the queue. Okay, so Nick sends you a pic of this Boss 429 inner fender supports I made. So look at this. Boom. That's sharp. I want to see them installed. There you go. So that's where they're going to go. I like those, Nick. How much are you charging for those? So I see you've got the two holes. Those are nice. Those are really nice, Nick. I'll give you several bells for that. Those are really sharp. Oh, that's the piece you need. I'll have to verify that I have that piece. I'll have to verify I have that, Nick. I think I do. But man, those are really nice. You did a great job on those. Great job. Nick, also if anyone has an old support with a okay. Okay, so I'll verify. Since I'm right here, let me look again because I thought you were talking about the middle. Right outside the door. Look at that. Look at that, Nick. Look at that right there. I'll cut that out. This is actually, now that I look at it a little bit harder, because when I did this car, when I cut this out, this piece is on top of this piece, because here's pop rivets that somebody had just kind of pieced it together. But I was just noticing the color I don't know if that's the primer that was on there, or if this. Surely this wasn't one of the pink Mustangs, you know. But yeah, that whole thing. We'll get it. We'll get it to you, Nick. We'll get it to you. I'll have to verify that. What that color was. So you had said, let me look at that picture one more time. Oh yeah, yeah. I got all that. Cool. We'll get it to you. Robert, I'm ready to go to Greece anytime you are. I might just stay there and not come home though. Well, maybe not a bad idea. Because then you don't have to deal with Let's Go Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Rogers says, nice work, Nick. Yeah, those are sharp. I mean, I didn't even know they made those, honestly. And for you to recopy them, I mean, that's really good job. That's really nice. Shane says, that looks great, Nick. Yep. Thanks, sir. If you really want to sell, I'll trade you for the support piece. It might take me a minute, though, because I want to get my drive line in and on the ground before winter. No. Don't worry about that. I don't want you to do any extra work. I'll just cut you out that piece and get it to you. Time is precious, Yeah. Well, see, I don't have anything to put those in anyway. I mean, the car's already together. And, some of the stuff like that, I didn't even know they put those in those cars. Like Don, if you look at Don's manufacturing, the stuff he's doing, really impressive. The way he's really thinking about how he can triangulate all the support in his Betsy, in his Mustang. I really suggest everybody check out Don Manufacturing and look at how he incorporated square tubing to stiffen things up. Just really impressive. Really impressive. Nick, well, the ones they made has beading and look more utilitarian, I guess. Yeah. I mean, yours look sharp. Those are really, really cool. And I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to turn down a set, but I'm not telling you have to make me a set. Don't go out of your way for anything. I mean, I don't even know if I would get them in a car. So they might sit on the shelf. Fastback conversion. Yeah, they could go in there. They could. The only thing is, they're a fantastic piece, and they're so well done, I'd rather display them. I'd rather say, look at this. Look at this cool work he did. You can't see it once you put the car together. But it's there. You know what it's there for. Terry, that's what's great about the channel, people helping each other. Yes. That's the goal. Try to keep people going, motivated, get stuff done. Oh, Red Dave. Yeah. Dawn is a stud. Yeah. Like I said, people are missing out because there's a lot of things at Dawn because he drag raced and he's had that car forever and he's raced it all these years. But he also understands there's ways to improve it that maybe don't fit the norm. You kind of look at it, well, how does that work? And the nice part about his car is it's not original. If I remember, it was a 6-cylinder car and you can kind of do, whatever you want with it. And adding that bracing in the car, fantastic idea. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he had mentioned the idea of coming under the front lip of the cowl and hand forming a piece of 1-inch square tubing underneath that to cross over and rigidify the cowl. When you have those pieces on the side and then triangulate forward to the shock towers, just really great engineering. I really like the way he's doing it. Wouldn't surprise me if like Mustangs to Fear or somebody goes, oh, we should steal his stuff. because he's just doing a great job. Yeah, Don is a stud. Yeah. Really thinks things through. Steve, good evening. A quick question. I have a 65 Mustang Coupe, 200 cubic inch, need to prime the oil pump. Doesn't spinning the pump drive cause the motor to run? Okay. You need to prime the oil pump. Well, the easiest way to prime the oil pump is to pull the distributor out, and you can do a couple different things. I can't say the 6-cylinder specifically what the end shaft looks like on the distributor, whether it's a blade or not. I know like this car had kind of like I think it was, my mind is telling me it was like an Allen head shape or something. But basically like even like the old Chevy small blocks had a blade like a screwdriver. What I did, and I'm not saying you have to do this, but I took an old distributor and I gutted it so that I could use the shaft. I took the gear off of it and I used the shaft so I could rotate it and prime it. Now, they probably make a specific tool that'll go in there that you can put on a cordless drill and just rotate it. And that's what that does to prime it. So the only way it's going to, if you do it by hand, if you're like cranking it over, you can pull the coil wire off, right? And just kind of crank it over slow. And that's going to sit there and pump without starting the engine. So just know that as well. Pull the coil wire off, crank it, and the starter will turn the internal parts of the engine, turn the distributor, and pump fluid. So that's an easy way to do it. But if you wanted to do it more in a more technical way, you get a shaft, cordless drill, and turn it. Hope that helps. Hope that helps. Good question, though. Thank you, Steve. Anybody else have any input on that? Any thoughts, suggestions, ideas? What is it with these little gnats flying around? Crazy little things. Robert, don't spin the pump fast, especially on a Ford V8. That tiny 5/16 X shaft will twist like a pretzel as soon as you hit the trigger. Yeah. Yes. Be gentle. Be gentle. Don't sit there and like hit the cordless drill. You'll mess stuff up. I think I used, I'm trying to remember what exactly I used, because I almost feel like I put something together to use the hex shaft, like an extension, and I think I taped everything to make sure it wouldn't fall off. And if I remember correctly, it's been a while since I've done that. Been quite a while, but yeah. If nothing else, pull the coil wire off and just spool it through, and that'll pump it up. All right. Where are we at here? Okay, so Ed Cucciarella sent me some information on the cooling. Good. Okay. I'm not sure what else we have to talk about tonight. If anybody has any questions, or any ideas or thoughts, by all means, share them. I'm starting to get that weird I get this kind of weird feeling going to my throat sometimes. Makes it hard to talk. Boogie Bum. I used a socket on an extension and turned mine by hand on my 68 200 cubic inch. So there you go. Boogie Bum's idea. Socket extension. And like I said, if you can, get some tape around those things, just so you don't lose anything. Doesn't come off. Shane, I just call Optimus Prime. Sorry, terrible joke. Yeah. Nick, see you later. Yeah. Nick, send me another email. I think I have your address, but send me another one anyway. I probably have it somewhere. But send me an address so I can get this thing to you. We'll get it taken care of. Post haste. Let's see. But I'm glad you're here, Nick, anyway. Really am. Wally, one of the members had an oil cooler, and we were driving on a very cold day, and the oil got so thick, he spun the cam gear pin. Ooh, 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 that's not a good sign. That created all kinds of problems, I'm sure. Yeah. Bob Shoemaker, 302 and under had a 1/4 inch hex, and a 351 and up were 5/16. Okay. Thank you, Bob. Thank you. That's helpful. Good answer. Good answer. Okay. I think I'm probably going to end up calling it a night here. It's been great having everybody here, communicating, sharing ideas, talking about stuff. And I don't know that I'll be back on Thursday or not, because that film crew is coming. You know, and I'm not sure where the timeline is for what they're filming. So I don't know if I'll be able to do the live stream on Thursday or not. It's possible, but I'm not going to make any promises, just so you know. But hopefully all that, like I said, all that stuff goes smooth. I still have more stuff to do here in the garage and a little more cleaning up and getting things organized and ready to go. But it should go pretty well. Marshall, howdy folks, checking in. Nick liked that a lot on my 289 too. Okay. Yeah, Nick did a great job on those pieces. Just looked really professional. I don't know if you're still listening or not. They look really professional, Nick. Almost like you did them. I know he's a welder by trade, so I don't know if you did them at home or not. I know for me, whenever where I worked before, for 29 years, there was a lot of equipment I had access to that I could make some cool stuff. I don't have that access anymore, so it just doesn't happen. But take advantage of it if you can. Okay. I think that's going to be it. Like I said, I'll call tonight. Thursday's up in the air. I'm not sure what's going to go with, whether it's going to be able or not. But it's been great having everybody here, talking about things again, sharing information. And if I'm not back Thursday, well, at least I'll be back on Monday. And I think I'm going to try to make a video for Friday. I did get the rear trim on the car, had help from Roger. So the rear trim is on, around the back glass. It's sealed and everything. I'm going to probably try to get a video up for that on Friday if I can. But otherwise, that'll be it. So until next time, take care of yourselves. See ya.